What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is Good Football TV, back with another video. I apologize for not making a recap video. I really intended on doing it, but college and life got in the way, so I wasn't able to post. But luckily, before the games today, I'm going to be able to make my predictions for this week's slot of games. There's 4 games this week. And let's get started with game 1. We had the Bears at home versus the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams ended up winning 34-31 against the Panthers. The Bears with a huge comeback victory against the Packers 31-27. First, looking at the Bears, I think they'll definitely have to rely on Caleb Williams to make a lot of plays in this game, as well as the run game. I think the run game will be very strong in this one. Expect DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai to get many carries, especially with the weather. It's supposed to be 18 with a wind chill of -8 degrees. It's going to be very cold. And if the Rams want to do anything in this game, they're going to have to stop that rushing attack and Caleb Williams from making plays. Conversely, the Bears need to stop this guy right here. Puka Nacua is insane. He had 10 catches for 111 yards, a touchdown, and a rushing touchdown to add on to it against the Panthers. They're going to try and get the ball to him a lot, I'm sure. And Kyron Williams and Blake Corum is also a very good backfield duo. As I said, the Bears are playing in Chicago. It's going to be very cold. Matthew Stafford historically has not been good in the cold, but he also played in the NFC North for 11 or 12 years, so he's probably somewhat used to it. Lest we forget, the Rams had to go to Philadelphia last year and play in the snow and gave the Eagles a run for their money. Even so, I am going to take the Bears in this one, and I think it'll be – I've kind of debated on whether it's going to be a high-scoring game or just kind of a cold freeze-out. I'm going to meet somewhere in the middle. I'm going to go 23-21 Bears. If this was a fair weather game, I could see this being an absolute shootout. But with as cold as it is, that ball is going to be hard. There's going to be fumbles. There's going to be turnovers. 23-21, my final score for the Bears. Next game up, we have the 49ers taking on the Seahawks in Seattle. Obviously, the Seahawks had a bye week last week with the number 1 seed. The 49ers coming in off of a 23-19 victory against the Eagles in Philadelphia. They've had 2 matchups this season so far. Week 1, the 49ers would take it 17-13. And then the final week of the season to decide the number 1 seed in the NFC was an absolute domination by the Seahawks, 13-3. And I think out of all the games this weekend, I think this one is probably the toughest for me to choose. On one hand, you have the Seahawks defense, who is just absolutely dominant. Probably the best defensive unit in the NFL. The Texans could give you a run for their money. Broncos could give you a run for their money. But the Seahawks have been dominant. And then on the other side, you have a hot 49ers team that, while they haven't played well the past couple weeks, the entire month of December, they were red hot. You also got to remember that the 49ers are coached by Kyle Shanahan. He's an offensive guru, and he could probably find some weaknesses within the Seahawks defense to get them to falter. The 49ers, I think you have to get the ball to CMC. He had 15 carries for 48 yards, which isn't great, 3.2 yards per carry. But you look at his catches, he had 6 for 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of the most versatile players in the NFL. They need to get the ball to him. And if you're the Seahawks, you just got to do what you did in Week 18. Just completely shut down that 49ers offense. If the defense is playing really well, you need your offense to throw up 20 points at most, and you should be able to cruise through this game. I think I'm going to take Seattle in this one by a score of 17-10. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. Not a lot of offensive output going on, but a lot of defensive domination from both sides. Moving on to the AFC side of the bracket, we have another very compelling game. The 6-seed Bills going into the Mile High, taking on the Denver Broncos, the number 1 seed. Bills coming off a 27-24 victory against the Jags. For the Broncos, I think the game plan is simple. You shut down Josh Allen. If you shut down Josh Allen, takes away the pass game. They're going to have to completely rely on James Cook and Josh Allen to run the ball. The Broncos have one of the best defensive run units in the National Football League, and I think they can get it done that way. At that point, they really just need their offense to throw up 20 points, maybe 3 touchdowns, and they should be fine. Conversely, everything I said that the Broncos need to do, the Bills need to do the exact opposite. Josh Allen is going to have to play an amazing game against a really good defense. They're going to have to get that run game going with James Cook and Josh Allen as well. And their defense is going to have to play some solid defense, obviously, as the Denver Broncos offense isn't a slouch. They're definitely not the best in the NFL, but if you're not careful, they can hurt you. At the end of the day, I think it is going to be a really, really close game. And this was another game that I was very conflicted on. At the end of the day, I think I am actually going to take the Bills 20-17. I think they will go into Denver and win this game. I think one thing you really have to take into account is just the playoff experience that the Bills have. They've made the playoffs every year since 2019. The Broncos, while they are the number 1 seed and have a great defense and a solid offense, they are new to this. We have to remember they made the playoffs last year but lost in the first round. So I will give the Bills this one basically just on the fact that they have the experience and have been here before. And finally, for the last game, we have here the 5-seed Houston Texans taking on the 2-seed New England Patriots. Texans will have to travel to the Northeast once again to Foxborough after winning in Pittsburgh 30-6 last week. Their defense looked really, really good, as I thought they would. The Patriots also looked good last week, especially defensively. They would end up winning 16-3 against the Chargers. For the Patriots, they need to hold the Houston Texans offense. I mean, let's be real. C.J. Stroud didn't play good. That win was on the defense, holding the Steelers to 6 points and also getting a pick six. C.J. Stroud had 5 fumbles against the Steelers last night, and if the Patriots can force some turnovers, they're easily going to win this game. Drake May played a pretty solid game. He did throw a pick. Nevertheless, he played a very, very good game, and he did enough for the Patriots to win that game. Only thing I will say is that the Chargers' defense is not the Texans' defense. The Texans' defense, like I said earlier, you could argue up with the Seahawks and the Broncos, is the best defensive unit in the NFL. So I think it'll be a very, very low-scoring game. Both defenses are very good. And while you have a more high-powered offense on the Patriots side, I still think both offenses are going to be stalled quite often. I shouldn't have underestimated the Patriots last week, and I don't think I'm going to this week. I think I am going to take New England in this one. I think it's going to be really low scoring personally. I'll go 17-14 Patriots. I'm not convinced that the Houston Texans offense is going to do enough to win this game. I think their defense is definitely going to keep them in it for the entire period, but I think the Patriots will walk out of home with another victory and move on to the AFC Championship. With that being said, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching the video. I'm going to try and be more consistent given time. It just kind of depends on what my schedule looks like for the week during college. I'm going to try and do some more stuff on the weekends. Obviously, right now, like I said, I'm in college, so I live a pretty busy life, but I like to do this on the side. I really enjoy making videos like this. If you want to see some more content or what you want to see from me on this channel, comment, say something, whatever it may be. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.